What's going on? Move the Mouse here with a very quick episode to say that we're wrapping up this season of the Let's Play. So coming at you one last time from the town of Rockdale. I shouldn't say one last time because I have prepared a little time-lapse video that I'll be uploading right after this one that kind of highlights some of the key areas. But I just wanted to take a quick tour through the city, talk about what we built, kind of what happened along the way, and where we're going next. So if you'll remember, we started off with a little triangle intersection coming off the highway, and we built our first neighborhoods, our little low density residential area here, and the whole reasoning behind this layout was to kind of minimize some of the cross streets. You've got these four-way intersections inside the residential area, but the only people that should be using that are people that live inside that residential district. Then we've got the 6-lane roads on the outside, providing our kind of main throughways through this area. And recently we've upgraded those to bike lanes and helped reduce some of the traffic that way by providing people with routes, as well as incentivizing them via policy to encourage biking. But we kind of started slowly but surely stamping out these different neighborhoods and built our low density area here. If you remember, I also started and unlocked high density residential about here, and then this was it's the wall of skyscrapers, but we since rolled that back and made this all low density. Then of course we have our major downtown area, which is just monstrous in comparison sort of to what we have in the north with the low density residential. This is mostly office space and residential with some commercial mixed in there. We also did one of my favorite things here, our little circular city with our beltway going around the outside, and it's all high density and it functions pretty well. The diamond interchanges are not necessarily the best thing for moving traffic, but they're doing a pretty good job, and the beltway around the city helps kind of keep things moving. We also did our little farmland up here, which, thanks to adding in the rotary, let me speed things up here, definitely helps keep things moving. It gets a little congested and clogged at certain times, but there's a lot of trucks and a lot of traffic coming in and out. As you can see, it's no longer backing up onto the highway, which is nice. That was a problem for a little while. This was really just kind of clogged and congested because it was kind of a triangle T intersection, if you will. But this one had some growing pains at first, but it's come along nicely, and you can see things are moving along quite well there. And of course, one of my favorite areas of the city is this high-functioning industrial area. Yeah, traffic's getting a little backed up here and there. Specifically going back into the city, I never really kind of finished addressing that particular problem, dumping out into here, because it seems like a lot of people do want to go that route. Some of them get on the highway going that way, some get on the highway going that way, and I was actually going to bring it into the city another way through here, but decided against that. So the big thing here, though, is all the one-ways really help things move along. And then this little trick right here I thought was really nice. So you have your alternating left and right-hand exits. And basically, if somebody wants to get off the highway and go to a certain street, most of the time they're going to path to the exit that is directly across. Sometimes they do take the first left-hand exit and then take a right turn onto the avenue. It's not an exact science. I could tighten up the curves a little bit and encourage them by having a slightly shorter route. But because this road is technically longer because it kind of winds out that way, they're a little tighter. It would encourage them to take the appropriate left-hand or right-hand exit. But all in all, it does a pretty good job at moving a lot of traffic through there. And then, of course, as I say that, it starts to back up. But you have all these trucks coming into our cargo area, our train network that we've recently reworked. all in all, I'm really happy with this city. It's not, you know, the biggest build, and I was trying to kind of adapt and show a lot of concepts, talk about a lot of different components of city building, and kind of slap it all together into one big mess at times. And then we went back and cleaned up some of the problem areas. I'm going to try to come at things a little bit more logistically in the next series, because like I said, what I want to do is I want to go through all the different things that are part of the milestones as we're building the city out. So we'll start small, how to start your city, basic build, drop in things like the landfill, med clinic. We'll, you know, go through these and kind of talk about these in detail and kind of try and plan things out. And I really want to get into some of the mass transit options that we did not discuss. So there'll be episodes on ferries, trams, monorails, all the things that we didn't touch in this city. And I might do little sections of town that have, you know, tram service or monorail service, but not necessarily extend it out across the whole city. So we'll be going through just a ton of details, a ton of stuff in this next city build. Hopefully, again, you stay tuned for that. Hope you found this one interesting and entertaining and informational. And as we continue on into our next city, we'll try and do more of the same. We'll repeat some of the concepts, but we're going to do it in a fresh build in a different way. I'm going to try and get away from the grid. So we'll definitely have some grids, especially when we get into the higher density areas. But I'm going to do some more kind of curving paths and free-flowing roads and suburbs that kind of, you know, work with the curves of the terrain, work with the curves of the river and so on. And we'll be building some stuff out like that. I kind of want to do some more freer flowing suburbs and things that just feel a little looser, but hopefully aesthetically pleasing at the same time. It's really tough when you start building dense areas like this downtown to not kind of do that on a grid. You can achieve the same sort of thing, but you're not really maximizing your space. And, you know, if you look at any major city, especially in their downtown areas, you know, certainly across the United States, New York, Chicago, LA, you get just tons of grids. If you remember from a previous episode, I showed the quote unquote grid of Boston, and it's an absolute mess. And traffic definitely suffers as a result. It's one of the worst traffic cities in the world, and there's a reason why, because it doesn't have a high functioning grid. But you can still get loose with it, so we'll try and find a happy middle ground and build some fun stuff in the next city. So again, hope you stay tuned. Hope you enjoyed this one. As always, if you enjoyed the video, likes, comments, shares help out the channel a lot and are greatly appreciated. You're probably not new here if you're watching a recap of this series, but if you are, subscribe and consider hitting the bell to get notifications, because it's very easy for a small channel like mine to get lost in the shuffle. Until the next one, though, when we'll do a quick time lapse of some of my favorite areas of the city, this is Move the Mouse signing off. We'll see you on the next season of City Skylines.